All right, gentlemen, let's leave the president alone for a moment. This is Editors Forum. We have to cross over now and talk about, well, stay with insecurity in the country for a moment. There was mild drama and tension between the House of Representatives Ad Hoc Committee on Arms and Ammunition and, of course, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Ibrahim Atahiru, over arms procurement just a few days ago. I think on Monday or Tuesday or thereabouts. So we'll take a listen to what played out between the Chief of Army Staff and the House of Representatives, and then we'll come back and talk about this very worrying issue of insecurity in the country and arms procurement and how that has hampered the state of things in the country at the moment. Plus, you can also be a part of the show this afternoon. You can contribute via SMS or via WhatsApp message. We do have numbers on your screen, so some of you are trying to call. We cannot take your calls. I'm not sure we can do that, but we can take your SMS and your WhatsApp messages. We're back in just a moment. Stay with us.
And for dealing with everyone holding AK-47 illegally is a mandate that has to be enforced. By the way, I hope you know that we are in a state that does not condone illegal bearing of arms. Anyone who is carrying AK-47 or any other weapon of that matter is considered a threat to the existence of the state, and so because he's an enemy of the state, certainly he'll be addressed. So it's not a question of my view, it is rather a question of having to carry out the mandate of Mr. President.
Took over mantle of leadership barely 2 months ago. The period for which you wanted this report, having been summarized in the executive summary, explains whatever details you will require. Issues of procurement that you so demand to get to know were done by specific individuals.
We are all working for the progress of this country. The Chief of Army Staff has told us how he has been meeting people because of the security situation of this country. And this ad hoc committee was set up by the House also because of the security situation of this country. We are here to partner with them. We are here to partner with all necessary agencies that will make sure the situation is very calm.
Please allow this to go. Our press, please just give us little time. We should call you guys back.
All right, you're welcome back. Chief of Army Staff and the House of Representatives Ad Hoc Committee on Arms and Ammunition there earlier in the week. And we also had another visual about the CDS speaking about a presidential directive. We'll talk about that very quickly. But gentlemen, let's get talking now. Arms procurement in the country. What played out was that the Chief of Army Staff actually refused to speak on a particular document which he had presented to the committee. He said the document was self-explanatory. Let's make sense of what played out earlier this week. Let me begin with you, Sunday.
Yeah, I think the COS, it was right, because they requested for that document, and he presented and said it's executive summary, and that everything is there. Then, if you also watch the article of the National Assembly, people are beginning to lose hope on them the way they are managing national affairs. Sometime last year, don't forget, when they set up a committee to look at this, especially the House of Representatives, let me cite the House of Representatives. to look into the insecurity crisis in the country. The speaker categorically told members of that committee they must not mention Mr. President in their inquiry or in their presentation. And at the moment they do that, that disqualifies whatever they have done. Okay? Now, the way the national have been going about this insecurity issue raised a lot of suspicions. One, they would think Mr. President is not answerable to what is going on. And secondly, so the last time they had an issue when they want to take an action, they had to recommend that the former service chiefs should resign. They don't have the power to do that. They have to recommend to Mr. President to do that. Now, when the Chief of Army Staff presented a document, they were not asking him to put up explanation. Yes, I will agree with them to an extent because they say that governance is a continuum. So if you come in, you continue from where your predecessor stopped. But the man has looked into this executive summary, and maybe wasn't satisfied. And don't forget that recently the National Security Advisor raised an alarm, even though he later said he was misquoted, that the money meant for acquisition of arms have been diverted. That there was a counter statement to explain. Now, if you watch this particular game, the moment the Chief of Staff presented that executive summary and refused to explain, and he insisted they should invite the man who supervised the implementation of that executive summary. The moment that was done, in less than 24 hours, there was response from the presidency to tell Nigerians that since Tucano jets are ready to be received in July. Who asked them? So they are not beginning to bring out certain things that were hidden formally. And the presidency also was went further to say that the Air Force staff that will handle the jets are already undergoing training in the US. So something must be wrong with that executive summary that the Chief of Army Staff presented, that he will want the man who implemented it to come and explain. And I think I start with him.
All right, Victor, what's your position, please?
Yes, I think it is too early to call this man to come and explain for things that he did not do. He's just barely 2 months, in that position. It is only in Nigeria that people are bigger than the country. Tuko Borotai hardly left that office before he was appointed ambassador. Is he the only one in this country? These are the things baffling us. We compensate people that have failed. If it to be other country, we will be going on that trial now. Look at the number of people that we lost under his leadership. Then you appointed him as an ambassador. Okay, look at the issue of money we are talking about now. When President Buhari came to office, $1 billion was first withdrawn for arms. Nobody is talking about that one. Then he single-handedly withdrew another $496 million to purchase the Tukole fighter jets we are talking about. That was, I think, either 2018 or thereabout. And we're asking questions there that was it only America that had the capacity to produce this fighter jets? Why did he not go to other countries? Was he expecting Nigeria to be killed within a period of 2 years? You are ordering for fighter jets that will be delivered in 2 years' time or 3 years' time, where other countries can produce this thing for us. Some people, the hailers said that we were just making noise. Okay, 2 years down the line now, have we seen there? And people are being killed. The question now is that what happened to the first $1 billion that was withdrawn for arms? Nobody is talking about that one. It's only the $496 million that they use in depositing for the Tucano jet that we are talking about. These are the things raising question. This man is not accountable for this issue because he was not there at the time of the purchase of the use of this money. He was not there. Why can't the government, why can't the committee, some more Tuku Buratai, who was the chief of army staff at that time, to come and give account of his stewardship? These are the issues about this country. Once you have attained certain position in this country, you are above the law. And that is why the country is going haywire. I would have expected the committee to invite him to come and give account of his stewardship. No, this man, not Atahiru, that just assumed office. He was not there at that time. Yes. I know that governance is a continuum, but the right person to be asked to come and give account of that, how the money was used, is Tuku Baratai. Luckily, he's alive. Not that he's dead. He's alive. He's an ambassador. What is difficult for the committee to invite him to come and give a account? Because if he comes, he will give explicit account. Not like this man that he was not in the picture where the money was spent.
All right, let's cross over live to Kaduna. Emmanuel, thank you for staying with us. Emmanuel Zaka, Public Affairs Analyst, thank you for staying or standing by rather. So the Chief of Army Staff, Ibrahim Atahiru, has insisted that he is not in the right position to speak up on arms and ammunition that was purchased by his predecessors. Who do you think should be held responsible for this, and who should we be rather interfacing with?
I hold a different opinion on this matter. But first, let me remind us that there was a closed session. And after the closed session, if you watch that video to the end, to the end of the video, you would see that they said that in that closed door session, they asked him all the questions that they wanted to ask, and he provided them answers. Do we know the answers? We don't. So, it is, assuming we knew exactly what questions they asked him and what answers he gave them, we'll be able to speak with the confidence that we would love to speak. But based on what we know, we are talking about somebody who succeeds another person. But let us even remember that in 2015, there was a presidential committee that was set up, a 13-member presidential committee that was set up to look at arms procurement from 2007 to 2015. Where is the report? Do we have it? If we have it, is it in the public domain? At least the areas that do not need to be redacted. Are there people that have been indicted? What has happened to the recommendations? Did they do a good job? We don't have answers to these questions. So this other activity that took place 3 days ago was another show, as far as I am concerned. So it is worrisome. I believe very sincerely that if the COAS thinks that the document that he himself presented at their request are not documents that he feels comfortable to speak about, to speak to, then why did he come? He should have told them in writing that he does not think that he is the one who, he shouldn't have come there to tell them when it was already a public hearing and it was aired. Everybody saw it. That the Chief of Army Staff will say that this document, and he didn't even speak under oath. See, we have been seeing what other countries are doing. We have been seeing this kind of hearings on issues similar to this one in very sophisticated countries, very serious-minded countries. And we see that each time such a person comes to speak, he is put under oath because the matter is too weighty for them to just come and be playing draft the way they did. So the moment he does that, which he didn't do, they didn't ask him to do, then he told them exactly what he thought that they should do. Nobody, it was not in his position to tell them that he thought that they should call individuals because arms procurement.
Emmanuel, let's stay with you for a moment, Emmanuel. We all understand that the chairman of the committee, Akuremi, ruled that the hearing should go into a closed-door meeting, and the media were asked to leave the hearing.
Exactly.
Do you have a problem with that as a journalist? Because I sincerely do have serious problems with this whole closed-door hearing and media being asked to leave, especially at a very crucial stage of the hearing.
representing the people, we are working for the Nigerian people. And the chief of army staff also said the same thing, English. But the reality came, and they were asked, they were supposed to speak to him, and he gives them answers so that the whole Nigerian people who were watching them would now get to know that indeed these people were working for us. They didn't do that. He told them that he would not speak, he would not speak. Then they now went into a closed session. It is not okay. What I have seen over the years that countries do in cases like this is that any document that such a leader is asked to present, he will go with his lawyers, look at the documents, then look at the areas that should not go to the public. And each time he is asked questions that has to do with looking at those areas, he will say they are redacted areas. That means they cannot be told to the public. But that was not what happened. He was not even comfortable reading even the executive summary, because whatever they wanted him to do, he was supposed to have learned, not to tell them what to do. I'm glad that somebody called him out on that. So it is wrong. The media is supposed to be our only hope in this country now, since everybody wants to hide something. But now that the media was out, and they came out and told us that every question that they wanted to find out, every question that they wanted answers for, they got them, but they will go for 3 weeks and then come back again. That is not how it should be. And the media should not be comfortable with it. Neither should any Nigerian who believes.
Basically, but gentlemen, Victor, Sunday, the media, when the tensions begin to, or tempers begin to flare, when the drama begins to ensue, and then the media is always asked to step aside. This is a closed door session. I'm telling you the truth, if I were to cover one of those events or be at the National Assembly, I would not be happy, because of course as journalists, you want to know the truth. You want to find out, unravel, help Nigerians make sense of what exactly are the issues on ground. And it's becoming a norm in the country at the moment, guys.
Yeah, it has become a common practice when there is a public issue, and when the state actors get to the point that facts are to be exposed, they want to push the media away. Now, like you said, why was the COS there? The COS was there because they were earlier invited. They didn't honor the invitation. So they demanded about that before the now came. Now when he made the presentation, and the heat was on the lawmakers, so they had to go into the closed door session, getting the media away. So I think there's something they want to cover up. They didn't want the public to actually experience what would have transpired in the entire procedure. But again, the COS, I still stand with him, because I believe that he might have cited some gray areas in the documents, because constitutionally he has a responsibility to speak on the document he presented. Okay. He has a responsibility. That is the civil service norm, the public service norm, having been in that office presently. But if he suspects gray areas that he feels cannot defend, he has the right to say, okay, you call the president, so let him come and do that. And I think that is what he has done. Which he has done. And I think that is what is playing. I think the lawmakers missed the point. They would have extended their argument to that point. They would have allowed him, agree with him, get the man invited. Because they themselves also recommended that man should resign at the time. Then he eventually resigned. When he resigned, they made that same man and others ambassadors. And the presidency told us that it was a reward. You forget? Have you forgotten? No. They said they were rewarded for the services they have provided. The services that is also tearing the country apart. So a lot of this, but I still suspect something is going on in the presidency, and they are about to, the ball is about to burst, but we are watching, and we'll continue to watch. All right, Victor, what are your thoughts? The media always being excused, but then to add to that is the National Assembly becoming practically helpless? Is it becoming a toothless bulldog?
They have always been, especially in the second tenure of this government. Don't forget the fact that the Senate president said that whatever the president requests for, that they will approve of it. And they are not there to represent the president. They are there to represent each of their constituency. They are not there because of the president. They are there because of the people they are representing in their various constituencies and senatorial districts. It is not the president that appointed them. They were elected. They were not appointed by the president. So for them to, for the Senate president to say,
because I remember when they were appointed, some of them went for a thank you visit.
Yes, they went to, especially my Senate president went and laid down for him, which I was shocked because Buhari never elected him. So he went and laid down for him, thanking him. Instead of going back to his constituency to go and thank the people that voted for him, he went to the president and laid down for him, which I was disappointed at. So the president did not appoint them. It is the members of their constituency that elected them. So why will the Senate president say that whatever the president asks for will be granted him? And that's why they have become a toothless bulldog. When Saraki was there, you can find out that at that time the Senate was very vibrant. But today it has gone asleep. There is no more resistance. Anything the president asks for, you give to him. Is that how it's supposed to be? Is that how a country will move forward? That you please the president instead of pleasing the country? If the country is not in existence, will we have senators? The senators will not be there. And again, the issue of the media, they always do that when they know that facts are beginning to come out. So in order to hide the facts, they ask the media to go away. And at the end of the day, when there is, because among these people, some of them will come and tell the media the truth. And when the media quote them, they will say they have been misquoted, are quoted out of context. It was always so. They have been quoted out of context.
The media has suffered.
Yes, that's what they always say. But the media should always stand on its feet, because the media is the fourth estate of the realm. It is the media that makes a country to move forward. Once there is no media, that country is dead. It is the media that exposes the ills of the society. And that's why one American president said that he would prefer to have the media than to have the armed forces or one arm of the government, because without the media, everybody will be in trouble. Those of them that are in government today, that are displaying power, at the time that the tide will be against them, they will run to the media. They will look for a journalist that will grant interview for them to be able to express themselves. But now they don't want to hear the media. They will go to TV, they will go to radio station for them to be able to say their side of the story. But now that they are in power, they don't want to hear about the media, which is unfortunate.
All right.